I am a teller of tales, a spinner of yarns, a weaver of dreams and a liar. I'll teach you some stories to tell to your friends while sitting at home by the fire. You may not believe everything that I say, but there's one thing I'll tell you that's true. For my stories were given as presents to me, and now they are my gifts to you. My stories are as old as the mountains and rivers that flow through the land they were born in. They were told in the homes of peasants in rags and kings with fine clothes adorning. There's no need for silver or gold in great store, for a tale becomes richer with telling. And as long as each listener has a pair of good ears, it matters not where they are dwelling. A story well told can lift up your hearts and help you forget all your sorrows. It can give you the strength and the courage to stand and face all your troubles tomorrow. For there's wisdom and wit, beauty and charm. There's laughter and sometimes there's tears. But when the story is over and the spell it is broken, you'll find that there's nothing to fear. My stories were learned in my grandparents' home, where their grandparents also had heard them. They were given as payment by traveling folk for a warm place to lay down their burdens. My stories are ageless. They never grow old. With each telling, they are born anew. And when my story is ended, I'll still be alive in the tales that I have given to you. There are the stories, the medicine, the treasures. And who is the one bringing them to the people? Well, the answer is the storyteller. Storytellers are the ones that tell stories and collect stories and look for stories and listen to stories, incorporating, storing them, and then when the time is right, offering them to the people. Very often in indigenous cultures where storytelling was a living practice, there were people who were embodying this archetype, this image, this energy of the story, the storyteller, embodying and manifesting it in a conscious way. There were people that were maybe practicing deliberately, intentionally, telling stories, developing this practice into a craft, into an art, being able to be like the modern actors in a way, carrying the medicine, telling stories to the people.
Yeah, and that stories were treated with respect. And this is what we're inviting you to do once you feel called to become a storyteller. To treat the story with respect, to treat the story as a living being, because they are living beings. They are, as we said earlier, food that is waiting to penetrate us and transform us, because they are in a way alive. They are alive and we need to treat them as living beings.
There is this idea that the storyteller is a channel for the story to come into the world, to come into being. And I think it's a really important idea. So when we consciously engage with this archetype of the storyteller, we may take a shirt, put a hat, maybe take a necklace and say, now I'm consciously embodying and I'm becoming a storyteller. And I make space, I become a channel for the story come through me. And
Yeah, I will follow your thread, Bogdan, here. Because it might be what we're looking for is a shift of consciousness. We're not anymore the everyday person who is washing the dishes and scrolling on social media or driving a car. Now we are another part of ourselves. We are becoming a vessel for the story to speak through us, and this shift of consciousness can come with a shift in the outfit, and maybe it can come through a prayer. And I think that old storytellers were maybe bringing a song to call the story, to tell the story. I'm making a space for you. I'm calling you. I'm calling you to come and speak through me. So maybe it's a prayer, maybe it's a song, maybe it's a little ceremony in which the storyteller enters the realm of being a vessel between the ancestors, the past and the present, but also being a vessel between the soul realm, the spiritual realm, and the everyday world realm.
Yeah, so weaving on this thought, I see storytelling as a weaver and a witness. And I think it's really important for the storyteller to witness and be present in the community and feel, okay, what is the need here? What my people need? Do they need some inspiration? Because maybe we lost hope at some point down the road. Or maybe we need laughter and joy to celebrate our time together. Or maybe there is some wisdom that people need to get in touch with to carry on with their lives in a more authentic and mindful and wise way. So a storyteller is a witness and paying attention to what's happening in the village, in the community, to what the people need. And also paying attention to this invisible world, mysterious world of the stories, of the depths, and hearing what does this word want to transmit and bring into this practical, material, visible world. So a storyteller is a weaver of the both worlds, and in a way carrying medicine from the mysterious, invisible realm to the visible realm of the people, of the village. So being a storyteller, it's a huge responsibility, it's an honor, but it's also a great gift for the person that is a storyteller. So if you, my friend, feel a calling for engaging with this energy of the storyteller, we are very happy and we want to encourage you to investigate it, because it's a great mission there.
Yeah, and inspired by what you said, Bogdan, I'm bringing here another thread to weave with, and that's the thread of treating and approaching the story as a lover, as a being with whom we are in love with. What does it mean? It means that, well, it's not like it's not coming from the conscious mind that I am choosing this story. Yes, I'm looking at the needs of the people, I'm aware of the stories that exist, and yet some kind of chemistry, passion, eros should flow through you when you are next to the story. And the story is alive, and she wants passion. She wants you to serve her well, to treat her well, with respect and with love and with romance. So when you're choosing a story, I would suggest let the story choose you. It's not necessarily a decision that is coming from the mind and strategically, but it's also coming from the story itself and making space for the story to come to you and then be offered to the people. So yeah, I really believe that since stories are alive beings, they are choosing you as well. I'm now recalling Martin Shaw, another great storyteller, who said that after the COVID pandemic, some of the stories that he was telling earlier have not returned to him. And now new stories are emerging, because we are in stories, we are in a relationship with stories.
And carrying all this material, this medicine to the people, being a channel, can feel a little bit intimidating in some moments. And I remember when I started telling stories in an intentional way, I often felt maybe a little bit inadequate and saying, who am I to be a storyteller and to really go fully with the story? So it might be normal to be a little bit intimidated because it's a serious work being a storyteller. And the word is not used. We have lost in many parts of the world the practice of storytelling, of gathering in circles, gathering around the fire and telling stories. But it's a beauty in that, and we want to invite you to listen to the feelings that may keep us a little bit behind and more shy, and just embrace them and see ourselves as storytellers when we feel like being one. And we want to invite you and encourage you to investigate stories, listen to storytellers, read stories. You may want to start with the stories of your land, stories of your childhood, legends that come from your place. And then investigate other cultures, see what is touching you, what is calling you. And there's no right or wrong way of doing it, just by practicing. So if there is an opportunity in which you can tell a story, 1 minute story, 5 minute or 1 hour story, go with the flow and tell stories. And to warm you up a little bit, there's a story that we want to share, and it's a story that is coming from Africa, the land of our ancestors. Enjoy it.